you want to assume that your counterpart does also. So that's not the best way to do it. When you're dealing with negotiation, it's important to be working with the way that your counterpart wants to be treated. So being an effective negotiator is treating that counterpart that way, understanding that they're going to have their own preferences and you're going to have your preferences as well. And then although that you may see sometimes me as an assertive, I'm somewhat of an assertive negotiator, I would call myself, is being direct. You may see that as a form of respect, but someone else could see that you're coming off too aggressive or maybe attacking someone with a different negotiating style. So understand the different types of negotiators, the different personality types out there. And according to Chris Voss, Black Swan Group and former FBI hostage negotiator, he says that there's 3 different types. So today we're going to outline the assertive. So number 1 is the assertive, how they see themselves: honest, logical, direct. And then how others may see them is like, hey, this guy's very aggressive. He seems kind of harsh. And the view of business relationships, it says that you're looking for needs mutual respect, nothing more, nothing less, and cares about being heard. And the negotiation mindset is time equals money, right? A lot of times people that are that assertive mindset, they think, hey, man, this time, where's this conversation going? Especially if you're in sales, is time equals money. Silence, they see silence as an opportunity to speak more, whereas the analyst might say, hey, I was just looking to catch my thoughts and brainstorm a little bit more and come up with my ideas. So you got to be careful not to jump in there and be too assertive in those places. So there's a quick overview of what an assertive negotiator type is, and it's important to remember that if you can identify the negotiator type that you're dealing with, it's going to help you tailor that communication more effectively to help you come to an agreement. And that's what we're in business for, is to come to an agreement. All right, there's our motivational minute on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We do like to feature properties on the program. Another one that we have here is a great opportunity in Tampa Bay, is 5603 East Longboat Boulevard. This property just hit the MLS. It's a vacant lot available in Bayport, right here in Tampa Bay, 5603 East Longboat Boulevard, and a great buying opportunity for builders and developers. All right, let's jump right into it. Shane SoCash, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin, welcome back to the program.
Super happy to be here.
Absolutely. Thanks for appearing on the show and kind of helping us in this area of so many different ways we could go here. You offer awesome jewelry and diamonds and all types of great opportunities there. And then of course people sometimes are looking to sell gold or silver, and then you also have those types of things as well. What are you seeing in your location there in St. Petersburg?
Well, since the last time I spoke with you a couple weeks ago, we had seen a dip in the market, and now looking back, I can say that I've seen a lot of people double down. They've seen bullion. They feel that it's on sale. The premium, the amount that's being charged over spot, seems to be stabilizing and coming down to a more normal amount, and we're selling a lot of bullion once again. It's really kind of spurred activity with the market going down a tad.
Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. People are kind of concerned, inflation setting in even more. Are your customers coming in and talking to you about that?
Yeah, so we see people concerned about inflation. We see people concerned about just the future of how far this can sustain itself. I don't have a strong feeling. I am not an economist, and I don't, it's easy to dismiss people who have great concerns about what the future of our economy looks like. But, how long can you sustain, moving the decimal point over yet again?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, with the market and with all the different concerns people have, it's definitely something to look at, is to maybe diversify your holdings. Sometimes people also they have things that they want to sell. They want to get liquid in this situation, and a lot of people are moving, transitioning, so they can come into your location right there. I believe you're on Central Avenue in St. Pete, and can bring in things and you can buy it from them.
Yeah, definitely. This week, or I guess the tail end of last week, beginning of this week, we purchased probably $75,000 or $80,000 worth of Rolex watches. It was a big push on those. It comes and goes, and the last several days we've bought quite a few of them. So, people are I think taking a second and deciding, like, what is it that I really need? Do I need this? And making the decision to let some things go that just doesn't bring them happiness anymore.
Right. Yeah. How's the Rolex market?
It's up. Yeah. Rolex, corporate Rolex as a company is really not producing enough watches to quell the demand, and because of that, the secondary market for pre-owned Rolexes has never been hotter.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. That, kind of growing up in, I guess maybe it's my time frame too, is coming out of school, and that was like the first point where you see people when they start investing in those types of things. Let's call it a lifestyle enhancement. People love
Sure.
that. They love to do that. We're talking with Shane Socash here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. And he's another example of our local businesses that support our show. They support the station. So please reach out. We'd love to put you in touch if you're looking to utilize their services. 813-750-0550. You can call or text that line. It's an off-air number, 813-750-0550. And what else are you seeing out there? I know you got gemologists on staff as well. That's a really big deal, so people can understand that and when they come in, that you know exactly what you're talking about, and you can really value these types of items.
Yeah, so we have myself and two other graduate gemologists on our team here, as well as many other of our team members who have, delved into GIA training, but not quite as far as becoming a graduate gemologist. We do a lot, I think we've talked about this, of estate work for attorneys. If someone passes away and has a great deal of jewelry, coins, bullion, watches, these types of things, a lot of times they'll bring it to us, and we'll go ahead and sort through it, make sense of it, and make an offer on it. And that's where the majority of our graduate gemologists here spend their time.
Now, do you do other types of collectibles, or I guess where does that line stop for your business?
We are primarily, it would be coins, jewelry, gold in any form, silver in any form, platinum in any form, paper money. That's pretty much going to be our wheelhouse. We have suggestions for other people that work, with art, for instance, or stamps would be another collectible we don't deal in.
Baseball cards?
Yeah, it's not our thing.
Yeah, right.
Although we do have a team member sorting through his Pokemon cards. Jeez, those things are worth a fortune these days.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Wow. Yeah, because I remember as a kid, you get your hands on baseball cards and you trade them with your friends, and you build up this collection. I just wonder, man, is there ever going to be a return on any investment on these things?
Like what I seem to hear just through the grapevine is I think that particular, I could be completely wrong, but it seems like that's past. They're on to the next great thing, which is Pokemon cards, for God's sakes. God save us all.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
We're talking with Shane Socash here on the program. David Reynolds JewelryandCoin.com. Check out the website, David Reynolds JewelryandCoin.com, and you can find jewelry design. They've got the Denny Wong collection, as well as they buy gold, silver, and platinum, and just another great example of a local company right here in Tampa Bay, supporting the local economy. That's one of the key things we talk about here on the program. What is the Denny Wong collection?
So Denny Wong is a fantastic designer out of Hawaii, and with him being based in Hawaii, a lot of his design is based on water and sea life and these types of things, which fits nicely with the Bay Area. It's not confined completely to that. But he's just someone who does an exceptional job in capturing that kind of look. And, you know, he's an award-winning designer every year when he exhibits. Like, he gets all kinds of awards. And every once in a while he'll come in and do an event with us here, too. He's a great guy.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I think I could definitely see how that translates from Hawaii to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of sea life, lots of, sand dollars and starfish and jellyfish and these types of things, you know.
Right.
Color, you know.
I love that. Yeah, that's definitely the flavor of Tampa Bay here.
Absolutely.
Shane, what are some of the other questions or misnomers that you get on a regular basis?
So, you know, we field calls all day long, calls and texts through our business line, about, the internet is incredibly misleading with coins. If you take the most common coin and you Google it, you're going to find it on Etsy for $17 million. and so we field those calls all day. We dash hopes and dreams, although occasionally we do the opposite. But unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation on the internet about coin values and that type of thing. So it's, text us at our business line, call us. We're happy to go over it. And, if it's valuable, we want to buy it. We're not going to tell you it's spendable if it's worth $1 million. I promise you. If it's worth $1 million, we are going to aggressively try to buy it from you.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So the internet, that's an interesting topic because everywhere you look, you find like clickbait. People are trying to get you to click somewhere,
Absolutely.
And there's so many scams out there. I imagine in your line, there's tremendous amount of scams and just misinformation.
Absolutely. We see it a lot with the states that we deal with where, a person has passed away and all of the valuables end up at our store and we're in a position to make an offer on it. And, we see some of the newspaper advertisers for gold bullion or gold coins. We'll see the receipts in with the coins and it's just like, my God, man, they took these people to task on just an incredible priced item, and it's like they could have come here and got it, aggressively priced.
Right.
There are definitely some bullion and coin websites and mail order, if that's still a thing. I guess it kind of is. But companies you call and they'll sell you a bill of goods for sure.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So you got to be diligent. You got to be smart. So what's your top tip then for folks if they're in that position?
Like call a couple local places. It doesn't have to be us. There's several good places in our town, and they're going to be honest with you. It's like we would love the opportunity to sell it to you for a fair price. So if you call us up and say, "Hey, I'm seeing this being offered for X amount. What will you sell it to me for?" And it's like we want your business. We're going to tell you what we would sell it to you for, and that could save you, keep you out of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, if you want a fair deal, you got to reach out to Shane Socash, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin, right here locally, Pinellas County, St. Petersburg on Central Avenue, and you can find them online. What's your social media look like, Shane?
Oh, so we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. We use our Facebook account primarily for the custom pieces we create. We update that. We haven't done a lot with bullion. I think our clientele is primarily older, so. You can find us on Facebook, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. I think Instagram's at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.
Awesome. All right, my friend. Thanks for calling in and giving us those updates.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Take care. Have a good day.
You too.
All right. We're going to take a quick break right here, but when we come back, attorney Millie Athanison on the Consumer Quarterback Show, athanisonlaw.com, and also our feel-good story of the day is a good one. Trash company finds $25,000 stashed in discarded freezer and returns the money. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Salem Media Group right here in Tampa Bay, helping you win in any marketplace. And we love to feature our real estate listings. We've got a top-ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And we like to feature our real estate listings to help our sellers profit more and sell faster utilizing our show. 10222 Meadow Crossing Drive. This is a property up in that new Tampa area, just north on Tampa there, Bruce B. Downs area. Great opportunity to own real estate in Tampa Bay. This is a beautiful home, almost 3,600 square feet. 5 bedrooms, 4 bath, 3-car garage, large corner lot, brand new roof, got a theater room and a gym, smart home technology, 40 solar panels as well, security cameras and more at 10222 Meadow Crossing Drive in Tampa. And another listing that we've got, let's take you down to Pinellas County here at 132nd Avenue in Largo. This property, it's over an acre of land, 2 structures on it. So as you're building and developing, getting everything in order, you could be collecting cash flow and revenue from the 2 rental properties on it. 132nd Avenue in Largo. This is 11724 132nd Avenue in Largo. 1 acre of land, income property, perfect for builder, developers, entrepreneurs. I've got about 15 other vacant land properties as well here in Tampa Bay. And you can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPteam.kw.com. All right, so let's go ahead and thank one of our sponsors here as well, Replenish IV Solutions. I just came from their South Tampa location, Gandy location, and it's awesome. You walk in, the nurse gives you water, great experience. They come in and they hook you up with a vitamin infusion drip directly into your arm, and that's going to go right in your bloodstream, and you're getting all the best stuff in there, vitamins, nutrients, minerals, whatever you need. They got different packages as well. They got the hangover remedy as well if you have a little too much on a Friday or Saturday night, for example. But yeah, reach out and let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Replenish IV Solutions. If you want to feel energized, hydrated, and replenished, it's a safe and effective way to restore your body's systems with crucial vitamins. Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, let's go to the phone lines. We got attorney Millie Athanison back on the program. Hey, Millie.
Hey there, Brandon. It's so nice to be here. How have you been?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thank you. And yourself?
Great.
Excellent. Good to hear it. So what's going on in your world, Millie?
Well, I thought today we might talk a little bit about mediation.
Okay.
Because that's something that we don't talk about often, and unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, no matter what kind of lawsuits you file anymore, due to the fact that the courts are so backed up, you're going to be ordered as a party to go to mediation. And so a mediation is basically a situation where you get together the parties with a neutral third party who's usually another lawyer unrelated to the case, and we'll try to help those parties discuss settlement, negotiation, and hopefully you can get your whole case settled. But that doesn't always happen. But usually if it doesn't happen, that's when they will allow you to go ahead and set a trial date. But it doesn't matter whether you're filing a personal injury action or you're filing for divorce or what have you. The court is going to order that the parties attempt to try to resolve the case on their own using the mediation process.
Yeah, and that seems like a great idea. I mean, it seems like it would save a lot of, I know in the real estate contracts there's a mandatory, you have mandatory arbitration. A lot of times the escrow deposit receipt is one of those major issues that typically comes up. It's like, oh, well, we wanted to keep that $5,000 deposit. What's our rights? What I thought I was going to keep that deposit. That comes into play, but mediation, not to be confused with meditation, right? but mediation can definitely help you in those, save a lot of money because both parties are going to spend a lot of money if it goes to trial.
Oh, yeah, and that's one of the main reasons that the courts really advocate that parties try to mediate, because if you go to a trial in this matter, trials are expensive to put on. If you're dealing with a personal injury case, you've got to pay for your experts to come in and testify. The doctors will not show up for free, okay? And so, that's very expensive because they're having to close their practice down for a half a day or a whole day to come and testify. If you're in a family law setting, putting on a trial is a very expensive ordeal because you've got to not only subpoena and get your witnesses there, you've got to pay your attorney to be there by the hour. And not only do you pay for their time in the courtroom, but you also have to pay for their time in preparing your case.
Right. Yep. The opportunity costs that they're going to have, they're missing opportunities there, so you got opportunity costs. And we're kind of coming into the end of this segment, but when we come back, I want to ask you the difference between arbitration and mediation. I think that's one of the biggest questions that people have in this space when it comes down to, and which ones are mandatory? Mandatory arbitration, mediation. I want to ask you that question. We're talking with attorney Millie Athanason here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, law offices of Millicent Athanason, and her website is athanasonlaw.com. We're going to take a quick break here, but when we come back, more with attorney Millie Athanason. Also, we want you to follow us online. We would love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter. Consumer Quarterback Show page out there on Facebook, as well as our YouTube channel has over 1,200 videos on YouTube. Please subscribe. We greatly appreciate those who reach out, and we'll follow you back as well at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter. We'll be right back after this short break.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Millie, stand by just a second. I got to go in there and adjust a couple of microphones, and then we'll resume, okay?
All right.
Coming in next, so we're going to skip to Will because
Brandon Faust.
His lawyer said he can't do it. So that PDF that Brandon is looking at is in digital form in your email. Okay.
Intro to self.
And Millie's still there if you wanted to chat.
All right, Millie. So I thought that would be good. Arbitration and mediation.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, essentially arbitration is where the parties are agreeing on the selection of a judge or a panel of judges to serve as the decision makers in the case, whereas mediation is where you're making the decision as to whether or not you want to settle the case.
So arbitration is where you agree to accept?
Right, whatever the arbitrator, it's usually a panel of arbitrators. Usually you have 3 arbitrators, but you can have 1 arbitrator.
Okay.
And that's the case where you're voluntarily submitting to whatever in the arbitrator is that you're going to either live by it or that you can agree that you can take it to court if you guys don't agree to whatever that verdict is. But typically it's binding arbitration, which means that you live with whatever decision the arbitrator or a panel of arbitrators make.
Got it. So it's binding or non-binding.
Correct.
It can be both. Okay, cool.
Cam, can I get a mic check?
Let's mic check, Will.
Test 1 2.
Perfect.
Okay. This looks good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you got that. Yeah. So that's the workbook we got working on.
Very cool. I like it.
All right, ready when you are.
All right, Jose, here we go.
All right, everyone, please stand by.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. We do that by having you reach out. We love for you to engage with us on our hotline, 813-750-0550. Call or text that line. It's an off-air number. Call or text 813-750-0550. You can call or text that line. ConsumerQB.com is your number one resource for all things real estate, credit, finance, estate, and tax planning. Over 40 different categories. Consumer advocate advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we'd love to help you. And a lot of people are calling in. Last week we got an uptick in calls. I feel like talk radio is really taking off right now. A lot of people are calling in. They're turning off the TVs. They're tuning in to talk radio. It's more of a local presence with a lot of our programs here on the show. So we'd love to help you win. ConsumerQB.com. And you can also hit us up at the website. You can submit a form there at ConsumerQB.com. And we are going to come right back with attorney Millie Athanison here on the show. Before we do, I want to let you know about a couple of hot listings that we've got here in Tampa Bay. 117 14th Street in Bel Air, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. This is an exclusive listing that we've got over on the beach. This is 117 14th Street in Bel Air Beach, Pinellas County, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, almost 2,800 square feet. You got a private pool. This is a double lot as well. Gourmet kitchen, jetted air bathtub, temperature-controlled wine closet, covered lanai, minutes from Bel Air Beach. You literally walk to the end of the street and you're on the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters of beautiful Pinellas County, Florida, right here in sunny Tampa Bay.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And a quick shout out to Discovery Golf Cars right here in Tampa Bay, formerly known as Golf Cart Depot. A longtime friend of the program, and for business or recreation, it seems like everybody's getting a golf car these days. Lots of makes and models to choose from. They've got the Easy Go, Star EV, Cushman. They offer new and pre-owned. You can also rent or buy, and they have financing and mobile repair. Discovery Golf Cars right here in Tampa Bay, 2 Tampa Bay locations, Tampa and Clearwater. DiscoveryGolfCars.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, attorney Millie Athanison back here on the show. So, Millie, great topic for today. Kind of talking about when you have these different types of disagreements out there, whether it's, so many different areas. It could be business, could be divorce situation, but you're going to have options. Real estate situations, you're going to have options. You're going to hear these words arbitration thrown out, and you're going to hear mediation thrown out. Millie, what's the difference?
So arbitration is a situation wherein the parties pick or agree upon a arbitrator who is going to serve in a judicial capacity or quasi-judicial capacity. In other words, that arbitrator is going to be making decisions on your case. In a lot of cases, you have 3 arbitrators, and when that happens, each party picks one of the arbitrators, and then the 2 arbitrators pick the 3rd arbitrator. And arbitration, it could be either binding or non-binding. So by binding, what it means is that the parties are going to have to live with whatever decision the arbitrator or the arbitration panel makes. Whereas in non-binding mediation, you basically have the trial, which is a much relaxed method of trying a case. And if you don't agree upon the ruling that the arbitrator or panel of arbitrators make, then you can go ahead and take it before a court. And the harsh part with arbitration is that you are putting on a trial where you're presenting evidence. The rules of evidence may be a little bit more relaxed in an arbitration setting, but you're still having to use your expert witnesses and so forth. So arbitration, you have to pay the arbitrators to be there Plus, you still have to pay to put on whatever case you want to put on. So it could be a pretty pricey process, particularly if you've got a panel of 3 arbitrators. So
yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, I kind of made assumptions. It's funny how you have these different assumptions, right? It's like I thought there might be one arbitrator, a single person.
Well, it can be a single arbitrator or it can be a panel. It depends on what the contract calls for. Usually arbitration contracts or arbitration clauses are found in contracts. And the way the court works is that whatever the contract says as to how you're going to resolve disputes, then that's the way it's going to be. For example, you'll notice in the fine print on a lot of things, it'll say that if you want to sue us, you have to sue us in the middle district of this state in this court system or what have you. Well,
yeah. Virginia.
Then if you're going to that jurisdiction, then that's what you have to do. Or it may say that all disputes the parties agree will be resolved by binding arbitration. Well, if the contract says that, then that's what you're agreeing to. So the first place as an attorney that I have to look when somebody comes to me with a problem is, well, what did the parties agree to? Did they agree to anything?
Right.
And if there's no agreement there or there's nothing that prohibits how a client can resolve a dispute, well, then we have a choice of what we want to do. But if the contract calls for a specific method of resolution, then we must do that.
Yeah, that's a great point, Millie. And if you just joined us, we're talking with attorney Millie Athanasson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, law offices of Millicent Athanasson here on the program. And Millie, that's a great point. It reminds me of a situation where I had a business. I had 20-something employees. I had some major issues. So we'll just say with, let's just say, phone carrier X. We won't say the name, of course, right? But the situation it was like, hey, man, what am I going to do? My business, if I don't have internet, I don't have phones because I had the VoIP, I had the voice over IP. So it was a situation where I was like, I'm going to sue these people. I'm going to go to this point. I'm fed up with it. I can't continue, day after day. I think it was 2 or 3 days, and it's to a point where your customers are calling. People are saying, "Hey, what's going on here?" So this example is leading to exactly what Millie said. Come to find out, I had already, when you sign up your paperwork with a lot of these big companies, these nationwide companies, insert cell phone company name here. These companies. You are agreeing to mandatory arbitration, or like you said, it's going to be in the Middle District of Virginia. You're agreeing to all these up front just by doing business with them. So therefore, it puts the onus on you to travel to where they're at. It puts you in a very defensive position, or a position where you're going to spend a lot of money if you're really going to try to fight this case. And then another point I want to make is a lot of times when they have you agree to those either mediation or arbitration. Who has the ongoing relationship with those arbitrators and those arbitrating bodies? That singular client, customer, or the company that obviously is going to have that ongoing relationship, right?
Yes. Typically, yes. The company, if that's what they put in all of their contracts, then obviously all disputes that they've had, they're going to utilize that. Now, there are national organizations such as FINRA, for example, that they already have a group of arbitrators that are signed on with them. And so whenever you submit the dispute to FINRA arbitration, FINRA is the one that's going to try to reach out and find the arbitrators. So it's not like the company X is picking the arbitration panel. But in some cases, they do.
Right.
So you do have to be, careful with that. And so mediation, as opposed to arbitration, is a voluntary process. And if you don't reach an agreement, it's called reaching an impasse. So then you have the right to proceed with going to court after that. So mediation, the thing to keep in mind is that mediation is more of a voluntary process.
Yeah.
It's a good process because it allows each party to find out what the positions of the other party is, and you can evaluate your case, in other words, the likelihood of how well you're going to do or not well that you're going to do in court should the case proceed. So I think it's a great mechanism to use, whether it settles or not. It's a great mechanism to use to see where the other side is coming from and to understand the full gamut of the case. In arbitration, on the flip side, you're going to find out the other side's position because you're actually trying the case. So,
right.
In my opinion, I mean, arbitration is usually used in lieu of going to trial. So most of them are binding in nature when it comes to certain companies. So it's you really have to think hard when you're signing up for something, what the ramifications are if you don't agree or have some dispute under the terms of that contract. Most people never read that fine print.
Right. Isn't that funny? Like in our daily lives, by the way, how many times do we actually read pretty much, I would say for me, kind of laughingly, tongue in cheek, like anything that we, oh yeah, sign here, you're checking out from a hotel room or you're buying, some kind of a plane ticket or, you're arbitrary, you're just agreeing to those terms of use, right? A lot of people are, Millie.
Oh, absolutely. I'm guilty of it myself, that where I've gone and you're in a hurry and you just sign for something and you're not really thinking. I mean, we're all kind of guilty of that. Life just kind of takes you sometimes.
Or you get for example, hey, I get a new iPhone. Okay, what's it saying there? Oh, I can't sue them. It's not their fault. It's my fault. It's like these things are in those agreements, and on one hand we rely on our politicians to protect us, and then on the other it's like, okay, well, how many lobbyists do they have to protect their position, and what were to happen in this case? And then you see the big cases that blew up, like the Aaron Brockovich case, for example. That that's a different case, and that's not necessarily contract, but maybe a bad example there. But yeah, as citizens, we're so busy today. It's a fast-paced world. A lot of times we're just agreeing to these things.
Yeah, no, we really are. We're agreeing with it, and we're not even understanding what we're agreeing to because we never read it. And some of these things that you're signing, it'll say even on the internet, you're clicking saying that you've read all this stuff.
Right.
But, most of the people never read that stuff. They just scroll down to the end and click.
Exactly. Hey, you're the world's fastest reader if you did. Yeah. Well, we got to kind of wrap it up here, Millie. Always a pleasure speaking with you. What's the best way for people to contact you, and your parting words of wisdom?
Well, my parting words of wisdom are to definitely try to read and understand things before you sign them, obviously. But if you don't, this is why I have job security. And you can reach me at 1-833-ASK-MILLIE, and that's at asanisonlaw.com.
Awesome. Always a pleasure, Millie. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
You do the same.
All righty. Take care. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, Captain Will Smith in the house. Will Smith Aviation. He's a published author, written 2 books, and we're going to talk about his new workbook he's got here as well, Ditches to Riches, Climbing Your Way from Despair to Success, right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Veteran gutters. Brandon Porter and his team do such a great job. And if you are thinking about adding gutters onto your home, it's a smart decision as well. You're getting that water away from your foundation. And why not support a local company here? Brandon Porter and his team over at Veteran Gutters, American-made product. I can tell you from firsthand experience, they're a first-class organization. Did a great job on our real estate property as well. And we always like to feature our real estate listings here in Tampa Bay. We got a property right here in South Tampa, 202 South West Shore Boulevard. This is a vacant lot. You can build your dream home, potentially even rezone it to commercial because it is a corner lot just south of Kennedy and on West Shore Boulevard right here in Tampa Bay. Plant High School District. Great opportunity to build your dream home. 202 South West Shore Boulevard in Tampa. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, every day we tell you something good in our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so we got a trash company that finds $25,000 stashed in discarded freezer and returns the money. So this was out in Ohio. This family accidentally threw away $25,000 in cash, and the local waste collection agency actually returned it. So the truck was en route to the we call it the dump. They call it the landfill here. You have it there. $25,000 was in an envelope, and they were packing up. The family cleaned out the grandmother's home, and she said, "Oh wait, don't forget about the envelope. The $25,000 in it." In the freezer. So luckily they caught the truck on the way and they were able to track them down. And it says, quote, one team was trying to track down the driver and find out exactly what the location was and if he made it to the landfill yet. So fortunately the truck had not dumped the trash at the landfill, and they got the $25,000 back to grandma. I'm sure she worked hard for that money.
Oh, wow.
Captain Will Smith in the house.
Story.
Yeah, welcome in, man.
Oh, thanks for having me again, Brandon. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. So what's new? What's the latest with you?
Well, we got the workbook that we just got back, and we're going to get that in action and start helping transitioning of inmates. We got, our final copy on the treatment for the movie, which I was very excited about, and I think you got an opportunity to read that.
Yeah.
So we're going to move forth with our next step in script writing. And start some LOIs. Good opportunity for funding as well.
Yeah.
So everything seems like the stars are aligned for us right now in what we're doing movie-wise and helping out the community. The workbook's my latest thing I just put out there, and we're going to get that published and get that, of course, approved by the Department of Corrections. And for your listeners that don't know, Ditches to Riches was already approved by the Florida Department of Correction, and it's in the JPay accounts for the inmates to where they can use this as a guidance on how to transition from a prison institution back into civilian life without those hiccups. Because we all know that when you're taken from prison and sent back out to the civilian world, they don't give you the tools that you need to become successful.
Yeah.
So I saw that when I was going through my transition, and I was like, wait, we've got to do something about it. We've got to make this a little bit better, because some of these people can't even read and write, number one. So that's their first stumble or their pitfall. With this workbook, we'll start with them to where they have the tools, they have what they need. And what they need is really basic. You need food, shelter, and clothing. Because when you get out, you just have the clothes on your back or whatever you came in with. So with Thomas Younk, with Cons Helping Cons, we're going to get together. He went through this workbook with me. He goes, it's written like someone that's actually done this. He goes, I'm very excited about this, and this is going to be successful.
Yeah.
So I just want to talk a little bit about that and, what's going on in the world of aviation and anything else you might?
Yeah, that's good. Well, I like this quote here too. It says, in the introduction page, it's got the instructor's information, and it's called "Ditches to Riches: Climbing Your Way from Despair to Success." So there's a cool quote right here that really summarizes a lot about the mindset you got to have. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act but a habit.
Correct. That was a quote that I doing when I was through philosophy class that I read, and also a book that I read called Atomic Habits, and I thought that was pretty cool too, because if we repeatedly do something, it does become a habit. Now, is that going to be a good habit or a bad habit? So we want to repeatedly do things that are positive, not only for ourselves but for our community and the people that we surround ourselves with.
Yeah. I've heard it said also, habits are thousands of times more powerful than sheer will alone. So many people say, I'm going to quit smoking because I get on an emotional high or whatever it might be. And then, they're trying to will that into submission, and you can't. It's got to be a habit.
Right.
That's why you see a lot of times people that are trying to quit smoking, they hold something in their hand, or they chew gum, or they have, now you got the Nicorette things or whatever that has a little shot of nicotine in there. But habits are thousands times more likely than just sheer will alone. So that's something to consider there as well. All right, Captain Will Smith Aviation. Let's talk a little bit about aviation right now. There's so many companies and even organizations saying, you got to take this jab, you got to take this, and I guess it finally got approved the other day. One of them did. But to mandate something like that, and especially for pilots when they're traveling at 30,000 feet in the air, it seems like a position that shouldn't be taken up. And to mandate anything, to me, is just not the government's job.
Yeah, well, let's reflect on that. And just from my experience and what I've seen in the industry, a few weeks ago, we had a lot of cancellations of flights.
Yeah.
Well, there was a reason for that. They really, when they do the test on normal people that are walking around, on the ground, that's at a different pressure altitude. When we're up in the aircraft, our cabin pressure altitudes can be anywhere from 8 to 9, sometimes 10,000 feet. So our bodies react differently in different pressure altitudes.
Right.
So with that said, they were noticing a lot of flight attendants were getting dizzy. Some of them were passing out because they're spending majority of their day when they're doing 8-9 legs at a time. They're spending, anywhere from 8 to 10 hours at that pressure altitude.
Wow.
Alcohol affects you differently at pressure altitude.
Yeah.
Medications affect you differently at pressure altitude. That's why the AMEs are so restrictive about medications that you can take. You can't even take a medication if you have a head cold and fly an aircraft because it affects you chemically differently at that altitude.
Wow.
Well, I'm pretty sure this jab is the same thing.
Right.
Now, what they've also found that we know just from reading and educating ourselves is pilots sitting in one position for a long time, it can cause blood clots, not just for the pilots, but also for the passengers. Now, you take this, that's one of these vaccines that's known to create blood clots. So now what are you doing? Now you're putting yourself in a position, the last thing that you want to do is put your pilots in a position where they can no longer operate as a pilot.
Yeah.
Because once you do that, now you have a missile with 128 people on board going in one direction.
Yeah.
And it's not going to stop until the laws of physics apply, and it puts it right into the ground. So we're taking chances there. The pilots, the smarter pilots, the educated pilots have been here for a while. They're like, we're not going to do that. So what they ran into in the industry was, A, you had pilots refusing to take the jab, so they weren't going to work. B, since those pilots weren't going to work, there was less pilots. So now they had the pilots that were flying hitting their duty times, which saying they can't fly anymore per the FAA. So what can the companies do? They have to start canceling flights.
Right.
Because they don't have enough people for all the flights that they're booking ahead of time.
Yep.
Now, it was so drastic that Delta, American, and Southwest took a different position and said, we're not going to mandate it for the pilots and our crew anymore.
Right.
Why? Because they weren't refusing to do it.
Necessity, basically.
Yeah, we're refusing to do it, and then all their other crew members that did take it were meeting their duty times and working too much.
Right. Yeah. So it's so easy for these politicians to sit up there on Capitol Hill and in the White House and just say, yeah, mandatory this and you should do that. But yet the White House does not require any of their staff to have the mandate. So
exactly.
it's another example of a hypocrisy and okay for thee, but not me.
Right.
It's just you see that all over the place. We got about a minute left, my friend.
All right. Well, that's just kind of sum it up with, aviation travel is great. I do recommend people wearing masks on the plane because of recycled air. The workbook that we're doing, I'm excited about that. Can't wait to get out to everyone so they can see what we're doing. So, if you have someone that's going through a transition issue, please reach out to us. We have the tools here to help them transition from prison life to civilian life and become successful with that transition.
Yeah, and tomorrow's show we're going to be talking with Thomas Younk as well. Cons Helping Cons. You've heard him on the program over the years, as well as Captain Will Smith going to be back in studio with us as well for tomorrow's show. So, hey, another great show here. I want to thank all of our expert contributors, Shane Socash, we have Captain Will Smith, of course, here in studio, attorney Millie Athanison, and we always end our show by saying we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another, be a force for good in the community, and continue to support our show. Follow us online. We would love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. Check out our Facebook pages as well, Consumer Quarterback Show, as well as the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We'll see you next time. God bless.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.